Okay, we're going to continue where we left off. And again, the subject which we were learning about last week was cheaters. I guess that was what we'll call the subject, right? The people who are being ma'arim. You know, they're saying that they're doing something for one reason and they're really doing it for something else, etc. That was the subject that we learned about last week. And we're continuing in that vein. Tov Kuf Lamed Gimel Sif Beis. We discussed fresh food is better than stale food at the end of the last halacha. And as long as you're doing what you're doing for a Chol Hamoed purpose, so then it's mutter, you don't have to be mitzamtzem. I would like to share with you a pain that I had this week, and the halacha which people will probably find overbearing. I was in a car dealership, and somebody asked the secretary, this was the question, because one secretary asked the other secretary, are we open on Chol Hamoed? Because the person wants to make an appointment on Chol Hamoed. She said, yes, we're open to half a day. So being it was a Sersi Mei Tshuva, I decided to not say anything. I think there's a flagrant violation of Ofur Shaloch and Shulchan Aruch. Also L'chavim L'achtar B'moed. So I was down the Kav Schus Mistam at some tzedakah organization that they have a car and it's for the rabbim, etc. Thank you. And that's why it's permissible. But what kind of business is this that you're taking your car in to be fixed on Chol Hamoed? So the answer is, of course, I take it to
not to buy.
To be fixed. Yeah. Why take it on Chol Hamoed?
Because it's convenient.
Because I'm not working anyways. So why should I do it when it costs me? Let it do it on Hashem's time, right? Okay, I mean, he didn't say it like that, but that was, now I have no idea who the person was. I'm saying Mistam was some stuck organization or something, right? But the bottom line is that there's an issur for a person to do things, to work it out for Chol Hamoed. So now, when I have to go and harvest my crop, let's leave it for Chol Hamoed. When do I make my food for Chol Hamoed? On Chol Hamoed. Why don't I make it before? Because I'm reading the magazine. And I can make it on Chol Hamoed. Is that true? No, you're allowed to make it on Chol Hamoed. Why? Because it tastes better on Chol Hamoed. It's made fresh, tastes better. Right? So you'll have a hard sell with ice cream to say that it tastes better. I don't know exactly, but I don't know where. But there definitely are certain things, and this even in Shulchan Aruch and Hilchos Yom Tov, it's a fascinating halacha. You're allowed to make your chicken on Yom Tov, even though you can make it before. But in my opinion, it's not simple that you're allowed to make without a shinui your coleslaw. What is coleslaw better, fresh or old?
Fresh.
I don't think so.
It depends what you mean by old.
Yeah, old means 12 hours old. 12 hours. No, I don't mean that it's growing things. That's okay. That wasn't the question. But when it still didn't melt together, right? If you eat coleslaw when it was just made, it's not good, right?
Chicken soup is definitely better the next day.
I'll say, it definitely tastes different the next day. Which is better? Some people like the strong, and some people like the mild. It's a different taste. Just like there's, in the Yeshua Shavuot, they say the difference between a bocher and an avrech. A bocher is Chol on Thursday, Friday, and Shabbos, and avrech he says Shabbos, Sunday, Monday. Okay, so I don't know. There's exactly how does it work out? I don't know. But the Chol definitely tastes different every day. It's a different thing, right? So but chicken soup tastes different. Your coleslaw, it's not ready till it's cured. It has to marinate for a certain amount of time. So you're going to have a hard sell to tell me that coleslaw that I made yesterday is worse than coleslaw made today. It's a hard sell because it's actually better when it's old. That's like saying that your schnapps is better fresh. For some reason, it doesn't go like that. It has to be aged, right? No, certain things, so that becomes a shal halacha. But if a person is doing something for right now, and there's benefit for right now, he's allowed to be to do it unexact. I'm going right now to the supermarket. This Chol Hamoed is not good because it's Shabbos. We're not, we don't have the Chol Hamoed Yom Tov, but like you have sometimes Pesach ends on Thursday, and you have one day, right? You have this 1 day thing. So a person's going on Chol Hamoed, so they're ready to fine. Let's buy another bag of potatoes for Shabbos. You're in the store anyways. You're buying potatoes anyways. It's usher to buy 2 bags of potatoes.
Even for Shabbos.
Even for Shabbos.
It's not a Chol Hamoed.
Right, that's usher. Now, in my opinion, it's not clear. I looked around once to try to find this clearly. If you're there in the store and you could buy 2 bags, you could buy a 5-pound bag and you could buy a 10-pound bag. Could be you could buy a 10-pound bag because you're just making one purchase. But putting 2 things, just because it's going on one credit card thing, that's not enough to make it. You're buying 2 separate items. Okay, so this idea of Machav Malach Demoid, you're not allowed to buy more, you're allowed to do extra. That's it's also to do. So here we have these people that are. Any Englishmen here? Here we go. Mustard and crass. Ken, you know what that is? Mark. The difference between you and I is neither of us eat it. But I don't even know what it is. Okay? But I know what it is. It's some kind of like alfalfa or sprouts that you buy them on a sponge and they grow in your refrigerator. And when you want to make your salad, you cut it off fresh. That's the...
Used to be. We have some in the fridge. Didn't come on a sponge, just came in a plastic box.
Are you in England?
Today.
No, but in England they probably still have it proper, right?
No.
What? But this is what it was, right? Talk about it was. So this is they actually have such things that they're making now in this country for all kind of green leafy vegetables that they give you a special box and you grow them in a special refrigerated place and it's bug free. And it's bug free. This is not a from thing. It's a bug free, organic, healthy, and not even supposed to be so expensive. So remember, you heard it here first. Anyways, but the bottom line is that a person, let's see, la'alacha, mutar la'akor pishton, mibnei sharoi lachasas bo es ha'ochlin. You're allowed to buy pishton.
To fruit.
What?
Fruit.
Pishton is.
To buy or to uproot?
I mean, uproot, yeah, pishton, because it's used on Chol Hamoed. V'la'aker kishus, you could some kind of hops. Sharoi lahata boy shechol etzor hamoed, because you can use these things on Chol Hamoed. V'la'aker shum shemin hayaveshim sheboy roi lechol miyad. All of these things you're allowed to uproot them because you can use them right away. Now let's see this Mishnah Berurah. Mishnah Berurah is a little bit unforgiving. It's worthwhile to see what he says. Kigon te'enim utmorim hamisyashizon b'chama. You put them out to dry in the sun, and at night you cover them up. Okay, why do you do that? Because of the towel. The towel will make them moist again, and it'll reverse the drying process. So you're doing something really for later on. I don't know how long you leave this up for, a month's time, a week's time, I don't know.
No.
What?
It's not for immediate use.
Oh, however, we're not finished yet. The Chol said that it's mutter im oisel etzorich zeh afilu bezel lo shari le'la'akar ela b'chtei mashu tzorich. You only have allowed to do it if you're going to be planning to use some of it. V'u'adin im utzorich lizoya pishton l'tzorich afifa. You need a plant pishton because you're using it as some kind of a shampoo, soap. I don't know exactly what this is. Sheshor noisam v'hanoshim chayfim bo l'hachlik b'soron v'tzachtzach mareim, and they use it somehow as some kind of a conditioner, moisturizer. I don't know, whatever this is. Okay, deshori la'akar apishton b'shvil zeh. You're allowed to uproot the pishton for this purpose. V'af agav d'b'shvil zeh lo hayolo litrosh rak roish hakivo. Even though if that was your purpose, it should only be permissible to snip off the top. Why is it permissible to cut it from the bottom?
much difficult to start worrying exactly what you're going to cut it off. Much easier.
I'm lost. I'm lost at the question. If a person were to cut their hair, would you say it makes a difference where you cut it?
No, with regards to the cutting.
No, they have the
It's the same move.
So they have the
Right. So what's the difference where I cut this?
It's the same snip.
whether you're gonna.
So that's a question. That's a question on the Mishnah Berurah. What's our? Why should I only do Rosh Hagivol?
Maybe if you cut from the bottom, it won't continue to grow, but if you cut from the top, it's still a living plant. I don't know.
And and therefore, which way does that go? And therefore, it's better to cut from where?
The top, so the plant
So
is
you're
not
doing
totally
more,
uprooted.
but
Like
that's-
doing less. It seems like you would just do the top, and then they can continue to grow more. You know,
It'll continue to grow more. So as far as you didn't kill it, that's what you mean to say?
maybe that's a matter.
Okay, all right.
Well,
The Pri Megadim asked this question, and Pri Megadim gives a very simple answer. Now, when I say a very simple answer, nobody here is expected to know the simple answer the Pri Megadim said, because nobody here is a farmer, as far as I know. Now, there's certain things that you have to be a farmer to know. I'll just share with you one. Reb Chaim Brisker was once giving somebody a test for smicha. And while I was giving the test, somebody came in. Maybe 50% of you people will be able to get this one. Maybe. And said that it was by Kaporis actually, and there was a lot of chickens and things going on. And one of the people was cutting off the feet. They used to use the feet. And by accident, inadvertently, they cut off the feet of one of the live chickens. And it got mixed into the feet of the dead chickens. And there's Nochav Ever Menachai, and it's not bottle, and maybe it's a double Sheba Minyan, and you can't eat any of it. This is the question that came to ask Reb Chaim. So Reb Chaim turns to the, as Rav Moshe Halberstam used to call me, the Erev Rav. And he says to him, no, you're becoming a rabbi. No, what do you have to say? I want you to have a good svara to be mater at least 50% of the feet. 50%. It's like an all or nothing deal. How do you get 50%? So the rabbi to be, or maybe not to be, was stumped. And Reb Chaim said, bring me the chicken that you cut off the foot. And he said, you see the chicken they cut off the foot? Which foot did he cut off? The right foot. So that means all of the left feet over here are 100% fine. So to be a rabbi, it's not enough to know all of Shulchan Aruch. You got to know, right? You just have to know, right? So I don't think anybody over here would have thought of that. Maybe.
Is there a solution by just shifting that chicken?
No.
It's no longer never menachai.
No, because it was cut off as Ever Menachai. It doesn't.
It doesn't mean patella when you slaughter the chicken.
No. But anyway, I'm just saying though. So how many of you knew that there was a right foot and left foot of a chicken? What?
You have to let cut off.
What?
You have to let.
I don't know if everybody knew that. Did you know there's a right foot and left foot of a chicken? I feel important. Excellent. Turn off the volume. Just give it to me. Yeah. Okay. Does that mean you just turned on now?
What?
You just turned on now?
Fine, after 32 minutes of working.
Okay. Better late than ever. Okay. Anyways, so now we all know that there's a right and left foot of a chicken, and they can have halachic implications. Just think of that. Anyways, so the Pri Megadim says that when you cut it from the bottom, when you pull it out of the bottom, which is the normal way of doing it, you're over on an Isser Daraisa of Chayrish. Besides cutting off the koitzer, the cutting it off from its place of growth, you actually also have tilled the ground, which is a Isser Daraisa for no purpose. So that's why we should have only allowed you to do the tops. Let's say that I don't think anybody over here is guilty for not thinking of that.
That's kind of what I had in mind.
You're trying to understand, but that's the kind of idea. Well,
Right.
I wouldn't know either, right? I wouldn't know that that's the situation. What?
I still don't understand this because I thought that you can only do on Chol Hamoed what you're going to use on Chol Hamoed. Now he's not using this. He's drying these figs. We're going to take them out.
So there's certain things which are called like b'chad tircha. You're doing it in one fell swoop. You understand? Let's say I have 6 dates, and I'm only going to use 2 of them. So they have to take them out and cover them, or I could just cover all 6 of them. You understand? So there's certain times.
But I presume none of these dry fruits are for now.
No. That's exactly what you're saying. You're going to be using some of them. So then you're allowed to do it because now here in this part, the last thing about pulling out as far as snipping the top, he says that since it's a greater tircha to do it this way, then that way we allow you to do it because we don't see, and this is a kind of a svara which applies in Hilchos Chol Hamoed and doesn't apply in Hilchos Shabbos. We look at your involvement sometimes more than we look at the creative activity that you're involved in. In other words, if somebody were to ask me in the daytime, in Ava Shalom, if I'm sitting in that half of the shul, or that third of the shul, in the daytime, is there any need to turn on the lights? Probably not. Okay, that's a like that answer. Probably not. Right? So, are you allowed to do it? Is that called Chol Hamoed?
More light is better. Easier to read.
Obviously, because you do it, right? You have light, right? You have lights, you turn them on in the daytime, right? You know, it's obviously so this is what's called in halacha a malacha she'ein bo shihui. A malacha that doesn't have any kind of difficulty to it. It's a non-work work. It doesn't. There's not much calories involved. Not much expertise involved. So these kind of halachas were much more makel on for a variety of reasons. Now this goes to the point I'll just share with you. Rav David Baharan would not cut toilet paper on Chol Hamoed. He prepared it all in advance. Why should you do a malacha of cutting toilet paper? So, what kind of malacha is cutting toilet paper? You're just cutting toilet paper, right? Right? But when it comes to Shabbos, how can you cut toilet paper, right? No, so we have these emotional outbursts that sometimes go one way and sometimes go the other way. So in Hilchos Chol Hamoed, that's called a chumra gedayla, and Hilchos Shabbos in Isser Gomer. No, so even though the malacha that we're talking about is the same malacha, but there's the amount of tircha involvement that's factored in when we're talking about Chol Hamoed, which isn't factored in when we're talking about malacha on Shabbos. This is a fascinating idea.
What would be the case? Suppose someone could go and buy new clothes.
I didn't know what you said.
Someone could go and buy new clothes before the Yom Tov.
Yeah.
But they decide it's convenient for them to go and buy new clothes from Chol Hamoed, and they're going to wear the clothes on the last day of Yom Tov. Does that kind of make it mutter for them?
I would like to read to you an Igros Moshe. Could you give me my device over here? Okay. Everybody bear with me for 1 second. I'd like to read to you an Igros Moshe, which the reason why I'd like to read it is because if I told you this is what it said, you wouldn't believe me. So, okay, we're just waiting for this to open up. Okay, I'm right now reading for you an Igros Moshe.
Which shul?
I don't have it written down. It's written to Ramosha Francis and David Zucker. This is in the Chol Hamoed book, the English Chol Hamoed book. I'm right now reading it to you. Misha tzarich liknos eza chayfetz shelo letzarich hamoed. V'oso chayfetz eino motzei b'mokom shehu dar. Mutter liknosoi b'chol hamoed. When ima yedei ze yarviach shelo yitzarich lasos nesiyah miyuchedes. Kegon sheh b'chol hamoed yeh b'lav hochi b'mokom sheh chayfetz motzei shel miknoso. All of that is not interesting. Now gets to the part that's interesting. V'talmid yeshiva habol lebeisa liyom tov. V'roitze teikev achar Yom Tov l'soa liyeshiva. He wants to, a big masmid, right after Yom Tov, he wants to go back to yeshiva. V'lochein rotze liknos eize dover b'chol hamoed. Yishor od yom bebeisa achar Yom Tov v'lo yikne b'chol hamoed. Don't go back to yeshiva. Stay another day at home, and don't desecrate Chol Hamoed. I don't know what this did to me. V'afal pi shayedei ze yisacha milovo v'yeshiva yivatel v'yitalmidoi. Still have to do that. Ela im kein hu ish she'eino mevatel af pam afilu rega bilimudoi. Sheze eino motze bizmanenu. I don't think we have to translate that part. That part's understandable. Okay, umishet tzarich liknas eiz adav letzarich hamoed, also lahoisev liknas imin zeh shelo letzarich hamoed. Okay, this is the case that I spoke about before. Ava bisha koines kulam bevas achas. Ava mutter liknas berevach letzarich hamoed, v'im yoyser la'achar hamoed ein bekach klum.
So what was the difference in the first case where he did that? Because it wasn't in the city,
so that's called like a hefsid meruba.
Because it required you to try.
I'll share with you the following incident which I had. I had in my koilo. Can you just put this guy? Could you hang me up on the wall? Thank you. I had in my koilo a fellow that was going to, a married fellow who was going on Erev Pesach and coming back Motzei Pesach, an Englishman, and he wanted to buy a suit in England. And anybody who comes from England understands that a suit in Eretz Yisrael, it's a suffix if you can call it a suit, right? So he wanted to buy a suit in England on Chol Hamoed, and he asked me if he's allowed to buy it. So I said, I don't know. So why don't you know? I said, I showed him this. He said, so why don't you know? It's foolish that it's usher. I said, I don't know, because it has to be a suit.
Why say it's not what you did?
So it's something that you can. So you can buy a suit in Eretz Yisrael, right? What's going to happen?
All right, just by glass.
What? So I said, I'm not sure the suit in Eretz Yisrael is a suit. I'm not. So that's why I don't know. You know, there are some people that it's a non-option. I'm not. You expect me to wear an Israeli suit, right? You know, like the world has collapsed, right? So I'm not in a position to comment on that. The person feels that this is something that he needs and he can't get it elsewhere. That's something else. But if it's something which you can get elsewhere, I said, but it at least shows the importance of what's demanded of us.
So I was wondering if...
But say, did I answer your question?
Not really.
Oh, so I want to get back to your question.
Yeah.
Now, I don't get your question. The guy really wants to buy his suit before Yom Tov if he doesn't have time.
Oh, it's more convenient. He's working to the last moment. Say he wants to buy a new suit or hat. He's not going to wear it on the first day of Yom Tov. Because he figures if he buys it on Chol Hamoed, he'll wear it on the last day of Yom Tov.
First of all, your question is illegitimate for many reasons. The question is illegitimate. He's not going to have it tailored?
Well, obviously, he can get a suit whenever he needs it. He's just chosen that time to get it.
You can get, yeah, right. You know, it's been many years since I was able to fit into those giraffe-long legs, right? You know, first, it's not really going to happen. Now, here's the question: are you doing this for what purpose? The case is over here. You want fresh food on Yom Tov, so there's an advantage. There's no advantage over there. You're just fooling God, and it's very difficult to fool Him. Okay?
That's why I'm asking if the fact he's saying, wear it for the last day of Yom Tov, that kind of gives him a heter.
So what's that? What the heter to what? That
To buy it in Chol Hamoed.
you're not allowed to buy things on Chol Hamoed. You're not allowed to buy new clothes on Chol Hamoed, even if you need them. Perhaps there's a machoikas hapoiskim. Listen carefully. If a person soils his clothing and has nothing to wear, if he should buy new or wash. No, to buy. This is not. Your question, by the time we're finished with Hilchos Chol Hamoed, you'll be embarrassed to ask that question. No, it's not. I don't mean that's a personal embarrassment. To say you'll understand, there's so many things that have to be factored in. But at the end of the day, this person is not upkeeping the spirit of Yom Tov. Even if he found a loophole, he missed the point.
Yeah, I said like, we have introduced a share about cheaters. That's the kind of cheating.
No, so I'm saying there the cheating is, there's some really valid gain that I'm doing this now. There is a valid gain. Now, I'd have to do all of it. So I'm allowed to, and this is a Torah general idea, and I'll just quote to you a Gemara, which is a fascinating Gemara. Now, if Moshe Feinstein was here, I would love to ask him the following question, because he discussed this shal in the Tshuva. The Gemara in Menachah says, somebody, lo aleinu, is drowning. And he says, help me, help me, help me. And you have this big fish net, and you see there's a big fish coming right his way. So you tell him, Rega! And then as soon as the fish gets there, you throw down the net, and you catch him and the fish together. So we paskin halacha l'maisa that is mutter to do, because you did nothing extra to do that catching the fish, and where your action goes down in the book of records as a maitza hatzolas nefashos, and it's mutter. What?
Shabbos?
At Shabbos. I'm sorry, forgot that minor detail. Yeah, right. That's permissible. Now, if Moshe Feinstein was here, I would ask him, can one do that l'chatchila? It's 100% okay? Or should I try to not think about that fish? Okay? I know what other achronim will say on the subject, but Moshe Feinstein, for whatever reason it is, I have a question what his opinion would be on that subject. What would you say to that guy? I know what my wife's grandfather would say, you are not a nice person. That's what he would say. What?
It's immoral.
It's...
If he jumped in to save him instead.
Catch the fish at the
and finish the sentence. I lost...
Catch the fish at the same
He
time.
jumped into...
Saving at the same time on Chol Hamoed would be permitted to wash his clothes afterwards.
What happened to his clothes? His clothes got... I'm missing the question.
Jumped into the seawater.
Okay, now his clothes are dirty.
Those clothes are dirty.
And he has nothing else to wear.
Those are his Chol Hamoed clothes.
I don't understand. Though you sound like a lady. I don't know what those are my Chol Hamoed clothes are. I know those words are elusive to me as a man. I'm not sure I know. You have something else to wear? You don't. Just answer the question. If, a lady opens up her closet, that's bursting, bring over, says, I have absolutely nothing to wear, right? Okay, so we understand. That's why we say this bracha every morning, Shalom Sana Isha. That's fine. But
no, the truth is, my wife just mentioned this. In halacha, you're supposed to buy new clothes every moed.
all right.
So therefore, obviously, we know that she doesn't have any clothes. So
No. That's incorrect. The reason why you buy her new clothing isn't because she doesn't have anything to wear. It's because buying her new clothing makes her happy.
Right.
No, not because she has nothing to wear.
Right.
Even if she has a full wardrobe.
So, okay.
Because the new clothes is something about new, that's geschmack, right? That's what makes her happy. That she has something, not because she doesn't have something to wear. You don't have to claim to have nothing to wear. You buy clothes when you don't have anything to wear, right? you don't have an occupation called shopping. The difference between men and women in regard to shopping is a woman can go shopping without any money. Right? What does that have to do with, what does that have to do with buying? Buying is a different occupation. Right? Shopping is something else. Anyways, lo mishane. I'm just saying there's a difference. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made 50% of the world like this. It's not a mistake. Okay? Anyways, let's continue. All these things are permissible. ואף על גד בשביל זה היה לו לתלוש רק שגריל, לא התריחו חכמים לשנויס, מכפי שמה שעושה בכל. We didn't say, no, you're being over an isser of chayrish. We're not going to you can do like you normally do. ושori לעקור עם השייריש. וגם בזה אינו מותר, אלא כדי צורכו כנ"ל. But it has to be that you're doing for what you need. Okay. שרוי להטל בשכר, וצריך להם להטל בשכר, שמערבים נויסו בשכר, לא שיש בו חורפה, give some kind of a sharpness to it, I have no idea what this is, וגם בזה הוא מויסו לצורך זה, וגם רק בכדי מה שהוא צורך למועד, וכן לעניין שום שמן כלכמה, לקר שום שמן, שאין השום שמן שלנו, this is something else, ואין ראויים לכל זה, אלא בשעה שהם יבשים, אבל לכם צורך להחמישון, ליבשון, if those ones that you can't use on the moed, they're all forbidden. Now, this is all the same kind of idea. In other words, once you're doing it, you do it like you regularly do, and we look at it as what you're doing is a permissible act. Okay. Next halacha. Fruit. When it's... Did anybody over here have an orange for a shachianu?
Orange?
An orange. I had an orange for shachianu. I actually had a green for shachianu. If you really want to know the truth, it wasn't orange, it was green.
Not a vegetable. Green orange.
A green orange, right? It's the beginning of the season. Now it's in the season. What? They don't have kinemets on them in the beginning of the season. Okay? That's my experience. Anyways, now they taste asisi. They don't taste matok. They're not good. All fruits in the beginning of the season, in my opinion, are nechal al-yedei adchak. You know, that's by nature. But some people like it that way. They eat their meat rare also. This is, tam barech en etvakeach. So we have over here food that's sort of like ripe. Okay? Like that orange that I ate. I made, I don't know, 8. I don't think it was a shahako. It was well past boisar. But it wasn't like in the heart of the season when it tastes really delicious. Perishin is vaslu klas, kaksas, v'necholam ha'idei adchak. They're ripening. Mutter laktan kedei la'ochlon. V'im laktan la'ochlon ba'asiro, v'chosh Hashem yasliu, v'im lo yichve Hashem, v'yoytzi alecha mehem, yochel kavshom. You have fruits that you initially picked planning to eat them, and now they have leftovers, and they're just going to shrivel away unless you pickle them. So now, it's what my mother, Allah B'Shalom, would call a baltashka shaila. What should I do with them? Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I'm not going to pickle them, I'm going to have to throw them into the garbage. So what's the halacha? The halacha is that you're allowed to be a kavsham. I will also lelaktam tchila kedei lekavsham, but you can't pick initially extra, planning to be kavish them. Now, so you're going to say, so how do I know? I can't answer that question. You have to be intellectually honest with yourself, and that's all I could say. If you have something which you have what we call an opportunity, if you have some kind of a fleeting season fruit, and what? But not necessarily a Mitzian price, but season, and it only has a very...
You're in the mountains where it is, and you're going to be back in the city afterwards.
So that we already discussed that in the Igros Moshe, but I don't want to pick on you. What are you talking about? what do you want to buy in the mountains that they don't have in the city?
You're picking blueberries that you don't have it at your house.
They don't have blueberries in the city? Which city are you talking about? There's no city in the United States that you can't get anything.
You can get anything, you get a premium. But when you pick blueberries,
Money!
it's free.
We're back to money. What about if I gave you money? What? So what about that? I only give you money here.
About that.
Oi! Can I ask you a question?
Blueberries and have to go buy them.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
It's a fascinating question. Is there an Isra about Tashkis on something that's not yours?
Yes.
Depends if it's hefker or not.
It's Hefker. I walk by a tree and I see that there's fruit over there and nobody's picking it. I walk by Reuven Mendelowitz's orange tree and I see nobody's picking the oranges. Do I have a chiyuv to pick? Not talking about Shemitah. But what?
There's a different batashas. So the batashas doesn't need to actually actively waste them. This is just shevatas.
I understand. So those blueberries can stay exactly where they were, right? You could let the ecosystem take care of them. They can become fertilizer, right? You don't have to worry about global warming. Everything will work out, right? So if you're telling me that you're going to get something that you can't get somewhere else and you need it, you want it, there are many things, and I'm speaking my heart. There are many things that people are liars to themselves about, and they don't realize it. I'm going to mention one, then I'll discuss what you're talking about. Somebody one time, this was in a Ramat Shlomo, where they are much meaner than I am here. Somebody asked me they needed a Shabbos goy for Shabbos. I said, what do you need it for? He said, it's Pekuach Nefesh. So I said, you don't need a Shabbos goy, do it yourself. Right? So, well, maybe it's Pekuach Nefesh. So I said, we're already on the bargaining table, right? So I said to him, I know of a Shabbos goy, but he takes 200 shekel to come. And there's a truth. He says, 200 shekel? Maybe I'll wait till after Shabbos. It's a true story. Now, it's a true story. Now, it's not a joke. It's not a joke.
It's a good weeding out process.
No, it's not a joke because there is a tzad of Pekuach Nefesh, right? Now, if somebody will say to me, Rabbi Zachariash, I have, what's that called in Hebrew? No, you get it. It could turn into an ammonia. What's it called? No, the regular. The flu, yeah, but strep. I have strep. So it says, I have strep. Am I allowed to drive to get medicine? Because someone said it could turn into pneumonia, and pneumonia could be Pekuach Nefesh. What? Oh, I'm talking. I'm saying I didn't argue with the facts that I said. What are the halachic chances that it'll turn into Pekuach Nefesh? And I told the person, I said, you can walk there. He says, no, but I need your car. 200 shekel. I'll wait. Right? You see, is the guy who doesn't drive to get medication for a strep on Shabbos over on the Isser? Is there a tzad of Pekuach Nefesh?
Small.
What? Small. So there's a point. It's this Pekuach Nefesh has a way of, it has to be discerned. Yes, the Gemara says Ki alecha ragnu kol hayom ze mitzvas mila, and the Rivash asks that it's very rare that there should be any complications. Yet there's an aspect of Pekuach Nefesh. So I'm not giving a share on that subject, but that's the point over here. When you say that there's something that you need, want or need? I need an ice cream. I need one. For some reason, that doesn't work in the dictionary before the year 2000. Right? After 2000, that the word need means the same thing as want, so that it's acceptable, right? So when you talk about such a thing, this is exactly what we're talking about over here. How much of a need is there, or is it something that we were slated to buy and now you're getting it cheap? In other words, the classical Jew, they wanted to sell to him an elephant. So I have a mitzvah, an elephant for $1,000. So the guy says, an elephant, that's very cheap for an elephant, but I don't really have much to do with an elephant. So he says, okay, I understand, but on my side I have a lot of elephants, I'll sell you 2 for $1,500. So he buys it. So a bargain's a bargain, right? But it doesn't mean that you needed it. That's not called that you read. Right? Now, there's all kinds of atayim which you'll learn about. They're not necessarily applicable to everybody in every situation.
So we couldn't buy the elephant for fun on Chol
For fun?
Hamoed.
That's a different story. That's not what we're talking about.
No. The purchase itself is fun.
Perhaps. That's a machlokes, Rabbi Yashiv and Rabbi Moshe Feinstein. Mitzvah Hashem will get there one day too.
Okay, shkach.